It's 1980. The console war has truly ignited. Atari fights back with hot arcade ports, but Mattel's Intellivision counters with sharper graphics and superior sound. In a seismic shift, a team of top Atari programmers defects to found Activision, creating the first major third-party game publisher and forever changing the industry's power structure. Space Invaders on the 2600, the home invasion that saved an empire. Taito's arcade juggernaut didn't just come home, it moved in. This wasn't a port, it was a system-selling phenomenon that single-handedly revived the Atari 2600 from a post-Christmas slump. It proved the console could handle a true relentless alien siege. The tension was perfectly translated. The ominous marching descent, the accelerating thumping heartbeat of their movement, and your lone, pixelated bunker being chipped away. The magic was in the addictive infinite loop. Clear a wave, breathe, and watch the next faster battalion descend. It was the killer app that transformed the 2600 from a novelty into a national obsession, creating a blueprint for arcade-to-home conversions and cementing just one more game into the cultural lexicon. Fishing Derby, the arcade of angling. Activision's 1980 masterclass in simple, savage fun. 2 anglers, 1 shark, and a race to 99 pounds of catch. This was tranquil fishing reforged into a high-stakes duel. Every cast was a nerve-wracking decision. Drop for a fast, small prize at the top, or risk the deep waters where the 6-pound jackpot swam. Directly beneath a relentless, pixelated shark, it captured the 2600's purest spirit. Easy to grasp, brutally difficult to master. A perfect family feud where you weren't just fishing, you were playing deep-sea chicken against a friend and an AI predator. Night Driver, the black hole racer. Atari's seminal first-person racer was pure, unforgiving velocity. No car, no scenery, just a driver's POV of 3 guiding posts, a cluster of road dashes, and an endless black void. The challenge was simple: survive the speed. The psychic track revealed itself only milliseconds before you had to react, demanding perfect rhythm and reflex as the RPMs climbed into panic mode. A stark, minimalist symphony of implied motion that proved you didn't need graphics, only gut instinct and a steady hand to create white-knuckle tension. Skiing on the Atari 2600 downhill in a digital blizzard. This was Activision's take on Olympic sport. Not a scenic escape, but a crisp, abstract test of timing and nerve. The course was a grid of blue and white dashes. Your skier, a cluster of 3 pixels. You fought 2 battles: slalom, a precise rhythmic dance of threading gates, and the pure speed trial of downhill, where a single missed turn meant a brutal crash. The minimalist trickery of motion, the screen scrolling down while you steered side to side, created a perfect sense of speed on a machine with almost none. It wasn't about powder, it was about pixel-perfect reflexes and mastering a control scheme that felt like conducting a high-speed orchestra. Pure distilled racing against the clock. Video pinball on the Atari 2600, flipper physics in a 4-kilobyte box. Atari's 1980 release wasn't just a pinball table. It was an entire arcade squeezed into a cartridge. It crammed in 3 distinct games: a fast-paced main table, a solitary breakout-style brick breaker, and a kaboom-inspired panic mode with falling bombs. The magic was in the crunchy, satisfying simulation of pure mechanics. The satisfying thwack of the flippers, the perfect weight of the ball, and the strategic bumpers created a believable physical space within a handful of pixels. It was a celebration of the addictive loop, a testament that the core thrill of the silver ball, stripped of fancy art and condensed into digital essence, was more than enough to create obsession. Boxing on the Atari 2600, a 2-pixel slugfest. Activision's 1980 sports sim was pure primitive pugilism. 2 blocky single-color fighters bobbed and weaved in a sparse ring with one goal: land 3 clean hits. This was less about technical skill and more about brutal geometry and timing. The genius was in its simple predictive controls: a straight jab from a distance, a powerful uppercut up close. Matches were frantic dances to get inside your opponent's crude hitbox. It turned a complex sport into a playable strategic duel, proving that even with just 2 stick figures, you could create a tense, kinetic, and deeply competitive living room bout.
Dragster on Atari 2600, the 5-second white-knuckle sprint. Activision's 1980 racer was less a game, more an expertly tuned reaction machine. The goal was pure: down a quarter-mile strip in under 6.0 seconds. This was a brutal test of muscle memory timing. Players didn't steer, they executed a single perfect sequence: rev, clutch, shift, repeat. A single mistimed button press meant a blown engine or a sluggish start, with the red line danger zone punishing you for holding a gear a pixel too long. Its infamous wrinkle: world record ghost times loaded onto the cartridge, including the unbeatable 5.57 seconds set by a teenage programmer. A time so optimized it sparked decades of debate over whether it was humanly possible. Dragster was a pedal-to-the-metal puzzle disguised as a race.
Alien Invaders plus the Odyssey 2's calculated siege. Magnavox didn't just clone the hit, it added a strategic command console. The core remained: blocky invaders in relentless rows, a player cannon, and essential bunkers. The Plus was a game-changing overhead map, revealing the entire alien formations layout at all times. This turned a reaction-based shooting gallery into a tactical puzzle. Players could plan precise attacks on key columns or weak points, breaking the formation with logic. With the full keyboard enabling direct code input for game variations, it became a more cerebral invasion. This was defense with data, transforming panic into calculated artillery strikes. Helicopter rescue on Odyssey 2, the vertical gauntlet. Magnavox's take on the helicopter genre was a tense vertical ballet of fuel and physics. Your blocky chopper, armed with a rescue rope, had to navigate a perilous crevasse to save stranded climbers. The challenge was brutal dual-axis management, precise horizontal movement while delicately controlling lift to avoid crashing into the jagged, pixelated canyon walls. Every second burned precious fuel, and every rescue attempt risked swinging your charge into the abyss. It transformed a simple premise into a nerve-shredding test of coordination, proving the Odyssey 2 could deliver a uniquely stressful and compelling arcade-style challenge built on pure, unforgiving mechanics. Tennis on Intellivision, the thinking player's baseline duel. This wasn't a simple pixel battle, it was a methodical simulation, played from a classic elevated view. The game turned the sport into a strategic court, where positioning, lobs, and precise drop shots mattered more than frantic reflexes. Players commanded their on-court avatar with the infamous disc controller, demanding tactical movement and deliberate shot placement. It was less about quick volleys and more about constructing the point, exploiting angles in your opponent's court coverage in a patient, calculated war of attrition. True to the Intellivision brand, it swapped the Atari's arcade immediacy for a slower, deeper, and more cerebral interpretation of the sport, a game of chess played with rackets.